What's up, Pom-Pom?
Just got a message from the 𝗂𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗁. Looks like it'll conflict with our original schedule.
It's been a while, my friends on the Astral Express. How's your trailblazing expedition going? Soon, the 𝗂𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗁 will be holding the Luminary War Dance. Those who have aided the 𝗀𝗃𝗀 in overcoming the crisis are cherished allies of the 𝗂𝗲𝗃. Thus, on behalf of the seat of divine foresight, I'm extending an invitation to attend the ceremony. Your presence would be greatly appreciated.
Well, things are getting lively. We've barely recovered from the family's 𝗀𝗏𝗎 festival, and we're already being invited to another special event.
Why not think about it this way? Our trailblazing expeditions are turning into blast expeditions, where we eat, drink, and play wherever we go.
Blast? Expedition?
Yeah! Wherever we go, we eat, play, and have a blast!
So we should leave March behind to take care of the Express?
Hey! That's not what I meant! I'm all for some fun. I just hope there won't be any surprise party crashers, like Friday or Saturday.
The 𝗂𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀 has recently overcome a crisis. By holding the war dance, they're demonstrating to everyone that they've returned to a state of peace and safety.
But that's what everyone said before we went to Penacony. You'll be totally safe under the family's protection.
No need to worry. The war dance is not like the 𝗀𝗏𝗎 festival with all its hidden secrets. It's just a festival to honor the Rainbow Arbiter and the Cloud Knights, who fought against the abominations of abundance and protected the 𝗂𝗲𝗃 ships. Aside from Starskiff performances, it's mostly martial contests. Nothing too different from the 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗏 contest we've seen before.
What do you think, 𝗲𝗏𝗀𝗀? Since we've accepted Miss Black Swan's proposal, we should probably head to 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏s for refueling.
There's certainly no rush. This trailblazing expedition is quite unique, and the Express needs to be fully stocked and prepared before moving on to the next stop. With Madame Herta's help, I was planning to deliver some Leviathan fossils from 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗏𝗃 to 𝗁𝗏, member 81 of the Genius Society. It could earn us some favors before we set off. However, it may take a few weeks.
Aw, so that means we're not going to the 𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗏.
Being an adult means maintaining relationships, whether we like it or not, March. Since we've been invited, it's only right for the Astral Express to attend the ceremony. So here's the plan. Pom-Pom will take everyone to the 𝗂𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗏𝗃. Mr. Yang and I will meet up with 𝗁𝗏 and fulfill our promise. Meanwhile, you, March, and DanHeng will represent the Express and attend the war dance.
What do you two think? I don't hear any objections.
Now that everyone's on board with the plan, it's time to work to the 𝗂𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗏𝗃.
Himeko really knows how to convince people. Between Leviathan fossils and the war dance, the latter definitely sounds more fun. By the way, DanHeng, this time you'll be taking a stroll with us on the 𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗏, right?
And just let you two wander around aimlessly on the 𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗏 by yourselves? I don't think so. Plus, Mr. Yang is right. The Ambrosial Arbor crisis just ended, and both the long life and short life species are still feeling uneasy. And that's why Jingyuan wants to organize the war dance, to show that the 𝗂𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗏𝗃 is stable and safe. And since he has extended an invitation, it's only right that I visit my old friend.
Coming back to this place brings back so many memories, you know? Hey, I'm not actually gonna recite a poem. I was just thinking about all the twists and turns we went through when we first arrived on the 𝗂𝗄. This time, we're not being forced or enticed or chasing after wanted criminals. And we didn't have to sneak in through the cargo dock. This trip has been incredibly smooth. Quite unusual, I must say. I'm just hoping for the best. You're the one jinxing us. Is the Starskiff Haven always this crowded? Oh, there are so many people here. I can barely hear anything.
Yanqing said General Jingyuan sent him to welcome us, but where is he?
Let's wait for him in front of the loom. It's the most prominent landmark on the dock.
Hey, you guys! Hold on a moment. Did they just call us? Look at their outfits. They're from 𝗵𝗛𝗄𝗃, right?
Are you familiar with the 𝗂𝗄𝗃?
We know a little bit about it. What do you need?
We're from 𝗵𝗛𝗄𝗃. Maybe you've heard of it. We came to this ship to gather interesting materials for making dream bubbles.
Oh, we just left there. Oh, talk about coincidence.
That's great. Do you know any must-see attractions on the 𝗲𝗲?
Exactly. We're 𝗂𝗄 experts. Most of the tourists around at the moment are here to attend the war dance. And that's why we're here too.
Yeah, we know about that ceremony. But isn't the fighting ring still closed?
I've heard the ring was actually converted from a huge decommissioned 𝗲𝗲 fighter jet. The radiant feldspar is bigger, I guess.
But for now, all we can do is wait until the war dance starts in a few weeks before we can board it. We've still got work to do, so we can't just sit around waiting for it to start. That's why we're asking you about some must-see attractions.
We're looking for unique experiences that you won't find on 𝗵𝗛𝗄𝗃. Our clients love these kinds of dream bubbles the most.
You're the expert here. Give them some suggestions.
Good idea. The everyday vibe of the 𝗲𝗻𝗄𝗃 is a rare find on the planet of festivities.
Everyday vibe. Yeah, our clients have had their fair share of adrenaline-pumping dreamscapes. Maybe something down to earth would touch their hearts.
Thanks for the suggestion. We'll head to the 𝗲𝗻𝗄𝗃 to gather materials. Maybe we'll run into each other there in a couple of days.
Look, Yanqing's here.
Really? Let's go catch up with him.
Hey everyone, it's been a while.
Well, it doesn't feel like it's been that long since we last saw you. But Yanqing, are you?
What's up, Miss March?
They say kids grow up really fast. Yanqing, are you a little bit taller than before?
We've only been away for a few months.
Long time no see.
It's been a while.
Oh, you've come along too, Mr. DanHeng. Sorry for the delay. With the upcoming war dance and the Starskiff Haven being so busy, things are a little hectic.
Seriously, I've never seen the 𝗲𝗲 so lively before.
I was a bit worried that holding the war dance right after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis might be too soon. But seeing the bustling Starskiff Haven, I understand why General Jingyuan chose this timing.
Yep. There's people from other delves and travelers like you three who've come from afar. With the war dance coming up, there's a huge number of visitors pouring into the Starskiff Haven. The Cloud Knights are working hard to keep the security tight. The General said this ceremony would help the 𝗀𝗄𝗯 recover from the crisis. It's a way to showcase our martial spirit, reassure people, boost morale, and attract visitors from other planets to promote trade and peace. By the way, the 𝗀𝗄𝗯 Alliance places great importance on this ceremony too. The 𝗀𝗄𝗯 ships, the 𝗍𝗏 and the Yaoqing, have both sent messengers to offer their blessings. Yeah, I wonder if you've heard of it. It's known as the Star Forge, and it's responsible for providing more than half of the Cloud Knight's armaments. The 𝗀𝗄𝗯 𝗍𝗏 boasts skilled craftsmasters, and General Huaiyan is a top-notch craftsman himself. If only I could get a sword forged by him, I'd be on Cloud 9.
By the way, Yanqing, where are we headed next?
I'm sorry for talking your ear off. The General wants to catch up with you at the Palace of Astrum. He's been eager to hear about how the Express has been doing.
It's funny how he tries to act all mature, but whenever it comes to something he's interested in, you can really see his childish side. I agree.
All units, assemble quickly! Get ready to protect the crowd!
Just mentioned security, and now all of a sudden something's gone wrong. Excuse me, I need to go check out the situation.
We'll go with you.
Watch out for this!
Protect the civilians. I'll deal with him. Not good. Thanks for the help.
Sorry, no time to chat. Could you give me back my...
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we'll have to put our plans on hold for now. I need to find out what's going on.
While we appreciate your rescue, my 𝗀𝗄𝗯 friends, don't you think it's a bit too much to detain us and our cargo?
Sorry, but we've been ordered to detain you and your cargo for inspection until we figure out the source of the attack. Once we're done with the formalities, we'll let you and your cargo go.
Oh, but this shipment isn't even meant for the 𝗲𝗏, and it's IPC's patented technology. Who do you think you are to conduct an inspection?
According to the protocol, all cargo arriving on the 𝗲𝗏 must go through inspection.
But we didn't officially enter your dock at all. We just sought refuge in your dock because we were attacked by the 𝗲𝗏.
Looks like this argument could go on forever. Let's not get involved in a heated dispute that won't lead to a resolution. Who's in charge here? I need some answers.
It's my fault. We let our guard down for a moment. I take full responsibility.
With the war dance approaching, safety should be a top priority. Now, tell me, how did Borison prisoners end up in Starskiff Haven? According to the protocol, Borison prisoners should be held on a Starskiff and taken directly to the Shackling prison under strict supervision without ever touching the ground. Who allowed a prisoner transport ship to dock at the passenger terminal?
Please don't blame this, Captain. This incident involves the 𝗀𝗃's diplomatic vessel.
Who are you?
I'm Liu Jun, an officer of the Patrol Defense Squad. Thank you for your help, Lieutenant Yanqing. The situation unfolded rapidly, and it shouldn't be held against the captain. Here's what happened. An 𝗳𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃 transport ship was attacked by the Borisin just before arriving, and the 𝗀𝗃's diplomatic vessel came to the rescue. They fought off the Borisin pirates and imprisoned them on their ship.
So, an 𝗳𝗃𝗃 ship was attacked by the Borisin near the 𝗲𝗏, and the 𝗀𝗃 envoys saved them? Sounds complicated.
Honestly, it gives me a headache too. The 𝗀𝗃 diplomatic ship, adhering to standard procedure, docked at the passenger terminal to hand these criminals over to the 𝗲𝗏. You know, with all the outsiders flooding onto the 𝗲𝗏, the Starskiff lanes are under immense pressure. The Borisin desperados decided to put up a fight before the prisoner transport Starskiff could get there. And that's what you just witnessed.
We'll make sure these prisoners are sent to the Shackling prison as soon as possible.
I see. It's an unusual situation indeed. I'll report it to the security department of the Realm-Keeping Commission and ask for their cooperation in handling the aftermath. Maybe I should gather more details from others so that the Seat of Divine Foresight can have a better understanding of the situation.
Oh, you look much maturer now, Yanqing.
Please don't tease me, Miss March. The situation on the 𝗬𝗎𝗄 before the war dance is like a calm lake that can be disturbed by even the smallest pebble, capable of generating far-reaching ripples with even the slightest disturbance.
What are those people? I mean, those monsters we just dealt with?
Yeah, those werewolf monsters are known as Borisin. They are abominations of abundance, and we've been fighting them for a very long time. The Borisin have been a powerful force for a long time, plundering and enslaving many worlds. The threat they pose is just as terrible as the Swarm disaster, and the Alliance even had a fierce war with them 3 decades ago. Their presence has faded over the years, but who would have thought?
According to that officer, they attacked an 𝗳𝗃𝗃 ship near the 𝗀𝗎𝗄 𝗲𝗏. Such a brazen attack seems quite unusual to me.
Yeah, that's what I find strange too. It seems like the 𝗳𝗃𝗃 and the Borisin have some serious grudges. Well, enough with the chit-chat. The General wants me to take you to the Palace of Astrum. I'd love to chit-chat a little longer, but there are some things that can't be left unchecked.
Is it a serious matter? Maybe you'll need our help in hunting down the Borisin?
Thank you, but it's no big deal. By the way, that young lady who just appeared, she took my sword. I'm thinking of filing a lost property report at the Realm-Keeping Commission to see if I can get it back.
I doubt she did it on purpose. Perhaps she's around here somewhere. Shouldn't we take a look?
All right, let's not keep the General waiting.
Don't worry. There aren't many people out there with that kind of talent. It shouldn't be too hard to find her.
There sure are a lot of troublemakers around.
Hey, DanHeng. I thought all the 𝗬𝗎𝗄 generals were like Jingyuan. But that General Huaiyan, he looks so thin and scraggy, as if even a light breeze would knock him over. Is that old man really an Arbiter General?
Well, each 𝗀𝗎𝗄 ship has its own division and specialty within the Alliance. not all of the Arbiter Generals are good at leading the charge. You heard what Jingyuan said, right? General Huaiyan was once the head of all the skilled craftsmen on the Zhuming.
Don't you find it strange? Do Xianzhou people age? I rarely see any old people on the Xianzhou ship. And when I do, they're usually travelers. But General Huaiyan looks like an ordinary old grandpa. Is he really a Xianzhou general?
Good question. He's right there. So why don't you ask him yourself?
Nah, I'd like to live a little longer.
We should leave. General Jingyuan asked Yanqing to entertain us, so obviously, he has important matters to discuss. Let's not waste any time here.
General, I brought our guests from the Express. Oh, I'm sorry for my bad timing. I didn't know you were meeting a guest, General.
Don't worry, you're just in time. It's been a while, my friends from the Astral Express. All is well when you have friends coming from afar. Allow me to introduce you to General Huaiyan. He's the Arbiter General of the Xianzhou Zhuming, known as the Flaming Heart.
No need to be so formal. I'm just a tourist here, no different from other tourists who've come to attend the ceremony.
Elder Huaiyan is not only one of the Arbiter Generals, but also the Furnace Master of the Artisanship Commission. Besides his martial skills, he excels in forging various weapons. Such talents are unique, even among the Arbiter Generals.
Be it Arbiter General or Furnace Master, these are merely titles given to me long ago. I've retired several times already, but with the current change in circumstances, the Marshal has called me back to duty, and I had no choice but to answer the call. Well, in the end, I'm to blame. Living such a long life naturally brings its share of disapproval.
It's an honor to meet you, General Huaiyan.
It's my honor to meet you, General Huaiyan.
No need to be all formal. Today I'm just a guest on the 𝗏𝗏, the same as all of you. So, these three are the ones you mentioned, Jingyuan? The heroes who helped you with the Ambrosial Arbor crisis?
Indeed. There's Dan Heng, March 7th, and him. Without their help, I'm afraid the 𝗏𝗏 might not have easily overcome this crisis.
So, the Imbibitor Lune's reincarnation has returned to the 𝗏𝗏 and will attend the war dance. I'd love to have a drink with you, should the chance present itself.
You're more than welcome, General Huaiyan.
And this young friend is?
Yanqing, my apprentice. He remains by my side as my retainer due to his youth, which I hope will season him with experience. He will stand for the 𝗏𝗏's Cloud Knights in the upcoming war dance, ready to take on all kinds of challenges.
Great, great! It's a real treat to see so many talented young people around here today. Oh, I almost forgot. This is my apprentice, Yunli.
It's you!
Oh, it's you. Hello.
Oh, you two already know each other? Guess we don't need any introductions, then.
What a coincidence! I was afraid I'd have trouble finding this girl.
Oh? Now you've piqued my curiosity. Tell me, how did you two become acquainted?
She helped me capture the escaped 𝗲𝗏 prisoners at the Starskiff Haven. Allow me to express my gratitude for you. But when you left, you took my flying sword with you.
Your flying sword? Oh, so that's why I found a dagger in my bag. Turns out it's yours.
Yes, it is. Now that we've met again, I hope...
Nope, that won't do.
Won't do?
You want your sword back, right? Well, you can't just take it back. On the Qiuming, when you lose your sword on the battlefield, you have to reclaim it on the battlefield. As for this little sword, it was supposed to strike that escaped 𝗲𝗏 prisoner. But unfortunately, its owner's agitated state caused it to fly off like a kite with a broken string, and it missed its target. By the way, if I hadn't caught it and helped it hit its mark, that 𝗲𝗏 prisoner would have gotten away.
Hold on a sec, Yunli. You took my sword without even asking, and now you're refusing to give it back?
So much for 𝗏𝗏's sword masters.
What did you just say?
If you just stepped up and took your sword back from me fair and square, I would have totally respected you. But nope, you tried to play it down, expecting me to just hand it back to you like it's nothing. In front of everyone. With all due respect, you don't honor your sword, so you don't deserve it.
Hasn't anyone told you that taking without asking is stealing? If you want to settle this with swords, fine. Let's have a one-on-one duel right now.
Yanqing.
Well, that's more like it. Just be careful, because I'm not as easy to handle as the 𝗲𝗏.
You two, be quiet and apologize to Yanqing.
Hey! Whose side are you on, Grandpa?
I don't take sides.
It's a small misunderstanding, and an apology would be too much. I've heard about the Qiuming's incredible swordplay and craftsmanship. Most notably, the legendary flame wheel octet. Seeing Miss Yunli, who is among those ranks today, well, I must say she definitely has that fiery edge.
Such grandiose names. Some folks love to spin these fancy titles, trying to set the Cloud Knights apart. Yunli is still just a young girl, a bit awkward and hot-tempered. So please forgive her if she's being rude.
Well, everyone, Elder Huaiyan and I have some business to discuss. For now, Yanqing, why don't you entertain our guests and take Miss Yunli to the inn? I'll find another chance to talk with you all. I'd like to express my gratitude to the Astral Express for helping the 𝗏𝗏 during the crisis.
That's so kind of you. I mean, you've already thanked us so many times.
Please forgive me for coming at an inconvenient time.
You needn't apologize, General Huaiyan.
All right, Yunli. Take this opportunity to clear things up with Yanqing.
Yeah. It's better to make friends than enemies. But I won't be heading to the inn just yet. I want to visit Lingsha. She just arrived in the 𝗏𝗏 and could use some help settling in.
Yanqing, once you've helped our guests get settled, go to the Artisanship Commission for me. I've heard about the attack and the detainment of the 𝗷𝗵𝗃 ship. Qingzu sent word that the 𝗷𝗵𝗃 members are protesting and wish to have their cargo back. See if you can calm them down. Don't get aggressive. Just make it clear that the 𝗀𝗄 𝗏𝗏 has no intention of violating their rights.
I'm on it.
It is the 𝗏𝗏's honor to have you in attendance at the war dance. Yet, the fact that a simple martial arts ceremony has attracted esteemed generals from the Zhu Ming and the Yao Qing implies intentions beyond mere spectating. Might there be any specific instructions from the marshal?
You're overthinking it, Jingyuan. As I said, I'm here to broaden my granddaughter's horizons. I have no ulterior motives. However, I have no clue what the Yaoqing Arbiter General has in mind. Do you remember when you accepted this position? I told you that an Arbiter General's battlefield goes beyond the physical one. You'll need to lead and manage everything on the Xianzhou. The title of Arbiter General holds a weight far greater than its literal meaning. So many years have passed, and you've done well. However, longevity for the Xianzhou people can be a curse. Living too long means that every mistake you made will lurk in the shadows. And one day, they'll eventually catch up to you. The Marshal knows everything that has happened on the 𝗏𝗏. As for the Merlin's Claw of the Yaoqing, she has come specifically for you. Speaking of which, why hasn't she arrived yet? They say the Merlin's Claw strikes like lightning. Being late isn't her style.
That's not true, General Huaiyan. She's been here a while, but I'm sure you've heard of her unbridled nature.
As soon as she disembarked from the Starskiff, she mentioned having something to attend to and simply disappeared.
You must be the messengers from the Xianzhou Yaoqing, I assume.
We are Jiaoqiu and Moza, retainers of the Merlin's Claw. It's an honor to meet you in person, Arbiter Generals.
Now this is interesting. A guest who doesn't come to visit but sends a message instead. What does she mean? Tell me, what could be more important to her than coming here?
Master heard about a spectacular view in Scale Gorge Waterscape. I believe she went there to enjoy it.
A spectacular view? Ha! Did you hear that, Jingyuan? This person is being sarcastic.
Please do not misunderstand me, General Huaiyan. I was simply stating the truth. Master thought it would be inappropriate to keep you waiting, so she sent us here. Once she's finished with admiring the scenery, she'll personally come and apologize to the both of you.
Drat. I forgot to ask Yunli to return my sword. No need to bother. The Zhu-Ming envoys won't be leaving the 𝗏𝗏 anytime soon. I'll ask for it later when we meet again. By the way, I don't know if it's just me, but the general seemed a little reserved. Could it be because of Elder Huaiyan's visit?
Reserved? Really?
Maybe I'm just overthinking things.
No, you're not. When I entered the Palace of Astrum, I realized that the messenger from the Xianzhou Zhu Ming was actually the Arbiter General himself. So, the messenger from the Xianzhou Yaoqing must be the Merlin's Claw herself, I presume.
That's right.
Well, that's what makes this entire thing so unusual.
What's so unusual about it? They simply received an invitation from Jingyuan, just like the crew, right?
The war dance is just a small festival. And now we have 2 Arbiter Generals from other Xianzhou ships here. I'm afraid they're here for something more. Maybe they've come to hold Jingyuan accountable for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis?
Hold him accountable? Come on, didn't the 𝗲𝗶 fall victim to the disciples of Sanctus Medicus and the Antimatter Legion? Why would they blame the victim?
DanCae's rebellion and 𝗱𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗃's scheming are merely one side of the story to the other Arbiter Generals of the Alliance. Only a single piece of incontrovertible evidence remains, creating an endless source of potential complications.
The Ambrosial Arbor.
Yes. It's undeniable that the plague mark, which was subdued by the 𝗀𝗄 𝗨 has resurfaced. But was it really a conspiracy instigated by the Antimatter Legion? Or does it indicate a traitorous intent from within the 𝗨, implicating Jingyuan himself? Once the spark of suspicion is kindled, it proves hard to extinguish. The General must have had that in mind when he invited us to attend the war dance.
What was I thinking? Seriously, here I was looking forward to a carefree and enjoyable trip. But it seems wherever we go, drama is just around the corner.
Aw, I was so excited. I thought those Arbiter Generals were just here to see the ceremony. By the way, I heard that an alchemist from the Zhuming diplomatic ship has arrived, and rumors say that she's to be the new Cauldron Master of the Alchemy Commission on the 𝗨.
An alchemist from the Zhuming serving as the Cauldron Master on the 𝗨? While it's not unheard of, the timing itself...
Thanks to your words, Mr. DanHeng. Now I finally see the underlying tensions. The General is under tremendous pressure right now, but I was completely oblivious to his troubles. How naive of me.
Come on, don't think like that. Leave the adult matters to the adults. Even if you wanted to do something for the General, it's not like you can do anything. Did I say something wrong? Again?
Miss March is right. I don't have the skills to share the General's burdens at the moment. Still, I'll do my best to follow his instructions. Let's go. Once I've taken you to your accommodations, I need to go to the Artisanship Commission to handle the 𝗷𝗃𝐶's protest.
He looks like he has a lot on his mind. We can't just let him go alone. Why don't we accompany you to the Artisanship Commission?
This is too much trouble. While I appreciate your kindness, dealing with the 𝗷𝗃𝐶's workers could be tricky. I'm afraid this will cause trouble for the Express.
No worries. We're pretty experienced in dealing with the 𝗷𝗃𝐶. You've heard of the 10 Stone Hearts? We've dealt with quite a few of them, right? Yeah, exactly. Are you being sarcastic?
Well, since you're willing to help, I won't decline your kindness. Let's head to the Artisanship Commission and meet them.
Just look at this flying sword. Even if I gave it back to you now, it'd just be taken away again in a few hours. You know the Cloud Knight saying, a Cloud Knight must never let slip their weapon, yes? Well, sure, I can give it back to you now, but on the battlefield, that's a whole different story.
Flying sword. Fine! You don't have to give it back, because I'll take it back myself!
Between these two, who do you think is tougher? Don't get me wrong, I'm just curious.
Get ready to separate them.
Hey! Was that the Yaoqing general who just dropped in out of nowhere? Oh, she's so awesome. I mean, when Yunli swung that massive sword, she just casually blocked her attack with ease.
Mine too.
Yeah. But to go up against Yunli is quite impressive, you know? That aura of heroism and grace, it almost makes me want to learn Xianzhou swordplay. You think so too, right? Can't you put a little more enthusiasm into it?
Thanks for the kind words, Miss March. The war dance is coming up, and I've been chosen to represent the Cloud Knights in the ceremony. I've had my fair share of defeats lately, and even though I know there are always more skilled swordmasters out there, seeing General Feixiao's skills today has made me feel a bit uneasy again.
Don't underestimate yourself. After all, generals won't fight in the ring during the war dance. Just remember the state of mind you had when you single-handedly took on me and Blade, putting life and death aside. With that mindset, you can prevail against most challengers.
I see. Thanks for the advice, Master Danheng. By the way, now that today's events are over, General Jingyuan wants to invite all of you to the seat of divine foresight. He has something important to discuss.
I bet it's about how to deal with the generals from the Yaoqing and the Zhuming.
I really don't want to get caught up in grown-up games so soon. I just hope Generals Feixiao and Huaiyan can see the truth. We don't need any more chaos on the 𝗲𝗲 before the war dance.
Earlier at the Palace of Astral, I introduced these guests from the Astral Express to you, Elder Huaiyan. But with all the people around, we only exchanged pleasantries. Now, I'd like to officially introduce them to you. These three braved great dangers, accompanying me to perilous places, defeating the chief culprit 𝗵𝗲𝗄, and uncovering the conspiracies of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus. If you wish to know more, please, feel free to ask us.
Well, I skimmed through the reports about the Arbor's rebirth from the Master Diviner Hu Xuan. She's been summoned to the 𝗬𝗏 for questioning. There are a lot of doubts within the Alliance about this whole situation. But despite all that, I believe in you. Since you joined the ranks, you have repeatedly achieved remarkable feats. After the High Cloud Quintet each went their separate ways, despite the many criticisms within the Alliance, the Marshal still stood firm against the dissenting voices and entrusted the 𝗲𝗲 to you. Over the years, you've served the Alliance with loyalty and wisdom. You've taken down abominations in Thalassa, rescued the Xianzhou 𝗬𝗏 from a siege, and destroyed the demonic planet summoned by the denizens of abundance. I still remember those battles vividly. There are fools who doubt your loyalty. They're happy to see the divine foresight fail because it gives them some kind of sick satisfaction. They haven't achieved anything of their own, so they feed off the failures of others. But I've seen enough failures in my time, and I want to believe that your loyalty has never wavered.
So, General Feixiao of the Yaoqing is the only one investigating the Ambrosial Arbor crisis on behalf of the Alliance?
No. I am too.
This old man's words always catch me off guard.
The Marshal ordered me to come to the Xianzhou 𝗲𝗲, but the document only says, attend the war dance and listen to Feixiao's questioning. No need for that. You're all important witnesses. The Marshal is well aware of 𝗤𝗰𝗄𝗏's purpose in holding the ceremony, and understands the situation he is facing. She mentioned it because she believes both issues are important.
Thanks for your kindness and sincerity, Elder Huaiyan. But is it appropriate to tell everyone here about the Marshal's orders?
By introducing the Express's witnesses to me alone, aren't you aiming to discern the intentions behind both my actions and Feixiao's? And whether there's any discord between us? Well, since I'm being open and honest with you, I encourage you young folk to do the same. As for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, all I need to do is listen. General Feixiao will be the one asking the questions. To be honest, I'm more concerned about the timely start of the war dance. Oh, by the way, I've prepared a gift for the war dance. Yes, it's this case right here. There will be numerous contests and celebrations during the war dance, and the main event will be the Ringmaster's Challenge. The host will dispatch a skilled warrior to take on challengers from all over the cosmos, showcasing the excellent martial arts of the 𝗀𝗄𝗪. When you mentioned that the Astral Express would be attending the ceremony, I thought the High Elder of the 𝗨 would be the Ringmaster.
You humor me, Elder Huaiyan. The healer lady is just a young lady who knows nothing about martial arts. How can I assign her as the Ringmaster?
I'm no match to you when it comes to joking.
What's this box for? Why don't you open it, General Huaiyan?
This sword case is intended for the War Dance's award. It's empty now. But in a few days, a precious sword will be delivered and stored inside. I don't mean to boast about our skills, but this sword represents the pinnacle of the 𝗤𝗼𝗄𝗏's craftsmanship. It has a legendary history, full of heroic tales from foreign lands, tales that are too detailed to be summarized in just a few words. Since the delegation delivering the sword hasn't arrived yet, I'll just leave the case here for now. I've been wondering who would be worthy of such a sword. And then it hit me. I can award it to the champion of the Ringmaster's Challenge. The ceremony's champion is sure to be a perfect match for the sword. Moreover, I hear that Yanqing is an excellent swordmaster, and that he will be representing the 𝗨 as the Ringmaster. So it seems like a perfect gift for him.
Thank you for your generosity, Elder Huaiyan.
If you want to give me a sword, just say the word, Grandpa. No need to beat around the bush.
You've got confidence, my girl, but I don't think you can best Yanqing.
I know you're all about swords, Miss Yunli. It's just a shame that it's the sword that ultimately chooses its rightful master.
Yeah, and even if someone gets their hands on such a precious sword, it'll probably end up in someone else's.
The outcome of our duel at the Alchemy Commission is still up in the air. Since you're interested, why don't you represent the 𝗀𝗄𝗪 and challenge me in the ring?
That's exactly what I had in mind. Nobody knows who's gonna come out on top. It could be me, could be someone else. It'll probably be me. But whatever happens, it won't be him.
Not to be rude or anything, we've been watching their drama. I'm dying to find out who beats who.
Quiet down. We have other guests here. I've prepared this sword to add some excitement to the ceremony, not to have you two squabble. It's not a good look for the Alliance. While you both seem confident that you'll win, you need to remember there can only be one winner and one loser in the ring, which could lead to hard feelings. Actually, I have an idea. We don't know who the winner will be, and it might not be either of you. But if you're eyeing that prize, you'll need to work together. I want you to take on an apprentice who will take part in the war dance and win at least one match.
How does that make sense?
In my humble opinion, while a Cloud Knight is commendable by securing victories, it's even more so to pass on your skills and spread the way of swordplay. I'd be greatly pleased if this apprentice could represent the Express in the war dance by displaying their Cloud Knight flair and prowess.
Well, Elder Huaiyan's idea is quite interesting. Imparting swordplay skills requires teamwork, and both the winner and the loser will learn a valuable lesson regardless of the outcome. The question is, whom should the two of them take as an apprentice?
Huh? Who? Wait, me?
I noticed just now that Miss March seemed quite interested in the outcome of your sword fight. So I thought, why not teach her the art of swordplay?
Wait, are you serious, General? Why am I being dragged into this all of a sudden? I've never practiced swordplay before. I'm a total newbie. You really think I can learn it? Well, you'll probably realize I have no hope and give up on me. And that'd be so embarrassing.
Isn't this a perfect chance for you? I remember you mentioning that you wanted to learn some sword moves.
Yeah, I did say that. But this is all happening so quickly, don't you think?
Miss March is like a piece of jade in the rough, just waiting to be shaped. The war dance is the perfect opportunity to see what heights she can reach.
I appreciate your kind words, General Huaiyan. But won't teaching me swordplay be a waste of Yanqing and Yunli's time? They should be preparing for the ceremony. Plus, I heard that each swordmaster has their own special moves. What if they let something slip while teaching me? If everyone knows each other's tactics, won't that make it hard to catch people off guard during the war dance?
That's considerate of you, March 7th. But don't worry. It'll take you at least a decade of hard training before you can even start learning special moves. No need to freak out. A few Zhuming swordplay tricks will mean you'll be more than equipped.
Really?
Looks like March's curiosity has been piqued.
The whole point is to know each other's moves. Defeating your opponent in just one move? How boring would that be? Plus, what really decides a swordsman's fate isn't some special move. It's the solid fundamentals.
So Miss Yunli has already agreed. What do you say, Yanqing?
General, I haven't graduated yet. How can I be qualified to teach swordplay to others?
So you're admitting your defeat, huh? If you're not even confident to teach, why don't you let me be the ringmaster instead?
Yanqing, teaching an apprentice is also a way of honing your own skills and gaining insights. You've been an apprentice for years. It's about time you looked at swordplay from another perspective.
I see, General. Then count me in.
Now that Yanqing has agreed too, it all comes down to Miss March giving her nod.
It's up to you to make the final decision, March.
At least that way, I won't have to worry about you accidentally shooting me in the butt all the time.
Hey, I've never missed my target. Then I'm on board. Thank you for your kindness, General Huaiyan.
Great! Starting tomorrow, Yanqing and Yunli will teach you the basics of the Cloud Knight's swordplay. Yunli and I will head out and purchase some sword practice equipment for Miss March. Think of it as a little initiation gift.
You're too kind. Wait, you're giving me a gift? Shouldn't it be the other way around? I think we strayed off topic. How did things even get to this point?
Yeah, I brought you here because the General said he had some important matters to discuss. But how in the world did Yunli and I suddenly become Miss March's swordplay mentors?
Because General Huaiyan wants us to stick around on the 𝗨𝗶 for some time. But from his point of view, we're no different from all the other tourists who may leave at any time. Since the crew's actions were mentioned in the 𝗨𝗶's operations log were given to the Alliance, he probably wants to see firsthand if we're as capable as the report claims, or if we're just some made-up excuse to save face. And he wants to see it for himself during the war dance, which is why he even dragged Yunli into this. What began as a simple contest between two sword masters has now evolved into you two collaborating to mentor March.
Elder Huaiyan is still that tricky general who likes to give everyone a headache. My apologies. Truth be told, I invited all of you to the ceremony because I wished for you to act as my witnesses. Now, I apologize for not disclosing this information earlier. In the coming weeks, I'll also invite all of you to a meeting with General Feixiao, where you may need to answer her questions and clear up any doubts she might have. So please, be prepared for the meeting.
Don't worry, General. No matter what happens, I'm prepared to stay here as the Express's witness and answer any questions.
Thank you, everyone.
General, I know there isn't much I can do to share your burden, but... As the 𝗨𝗶 ringmaster, I won't let anyone defeat me in the war dance.
I know.
I'm still feeling sleepy.
Did I oversleep? Where did March and DanHung go?
There you are.
Well, it was a promise to General Huaiyan, after all. I woke up especially early, so I can start teaching Miss March swordplay.
Hey, why are you blushing, Master Yanqing?
This is, the first time someone has called me Master. I need to, get used to it. Let me make it clear. Swordplay training is about improving your body, mind, and strength. It's not a casual game you can master overnight. I promised General Huaiyan that I'd teach you Cloud Knight swordplay, so you can participate in the war dance and defeat at least one opponent. I'll do my best, but if you break your master's rules...
Fine. A promise is a promise. Since I promised to study hard, I'll do my best starting today.
Great! That's the spirit.
March is in your hands now, Yanqing. Don't be too easy on her.
DanHung, do you even have a heart? Did you lose it somewhere? By the way, where's Yunli?
I've found a quiet spot in the back garden of the Palace of Astrum for our first lesson together.
I am glad to finally meet you in person, guests from the Astral Express. I'm Feixiao, the general of the 𝗀𝗄𝗹𝘂𝘀.
Let me introduce our guest to you. The one dressed in green.
He's the reincarnation of 𝗰𝗵𝗴𝗁𝗀, and the person behind him is the newest member of the crew. I've heard a lot about you. Outside the reports from the 𝗀𝗶𝗴, the Skyfaring Commission of the Yaoqing has also gathered plenty of information about both of you. I've been eager to meet you face to face for reasons that I'm sure General Jing Yuan has explained, right? That's right. But don't worry, this isn't a trial. I just want to have a chat with you and get a better understanding of the facts. According to General Jing Yuan's report, the Ruin Legion is to blame for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, and all Arbiter Generals should pay attention to the Ruin Author's movements. Over the years, the Destruction's minions have wreaked havoc on countless worlds, and the Alliance has been keeping an eye on them. But no one expected them to join hands with the remnants of the Abundance. The damage caused by the Ambrosial Arbor crisis was far less severe than expected, which is good news for us. However, it was quite different from the Ruin Legion's usual style of destroying life wherever they go. While I trust the bravery of the Divine Foresight and the Nameless, I'm curious about some details missing from the report. I'd like to take this chance to have an exchange with both of you. Let me be clear, the questions I'll ask might not reflect my actual thoughts, so please don't take offense if any of my questions seem a bit harsh.
Please go ahead, General. But keep in mind we can only answer based on what we know. And perhaps you already have the answers to your questions in your heart.
You have a clever tongue. I like it.
The Merlin's claw is quite articulate. Right now, her intentions are unknown, and Jing Yuan wants us to be honest. Maybe I'll just stick to the facts we know.
Let's cut to the chase. Before the crisis struck, the Astral Express was guided here by a Stellaron hunter, a wanted felon, in an attempt to resolve the Stellaron crisis. However, everyone in the cosmos knows of the Stellaron hunter's reputation. So, why did you place so much trust in them? Could it be that some of you have a connection with them?
There are many other worlds suffering from Stellaron corrosion. For example, Jarilo 6, the world that the Express stopped at before reaching the 𝗀𝗶𝗴, was one of them.
To the Express, Stellarons act as roadblocks on the Silver Rail and pose risks to the warping process. And that's why dealing with Stellaron issues is part of the duty of the Nameless.
Ah, I've heard about those problems caused by Stellarons. The Express connects various worlds, so it makes sense for you to take care of this. The cosmos is a mess, and the Trailblazers are just doing their best to fix it. I understand. Let's move on to the next question. The report suggests that DanCae, the master of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, colluded with the Lord Ravager and used the power of the Stellaron to resurrect the Ambrosial Arbor. But here's the thing. DanCae was just a chief alchemist. Even if she colluded with our enemies and summoned the Stellaron, how did she manage to bypass the 𝗵𝗲𝗴𝘂𝗃 guards around the Ambrosial Arbor?
I personally met DanCae once. Her closest friend was killed during the war on the 𝗲𝗃, and she harbored deep hatred towards the hunt. So she spent years making preparations in the Alchemy Commission in order to take revenge on the 𝗬𝗎𝗄.
Revenge is also a form of the hunt. However, that doesn't explain how she managed to bring the Stellaron into the Scale Gorge waterscape, which was guarded by the 𝗵𝗲𝗴𝗃.
Well, you should ask DanCae herself for the answer.
Unfortunately, DanCae is dead, and even her corpse has crumbled into ash. That's one less clue we can pursue. Oh, it seems that your answers have addressed all my questions. Generals, I am finished with my questioning.
So, what do you think, General Feixiao? Have the doubts in the report been cleared up?
The two nameless have been honest in their answers. Even though there are some tricky details, my intuition tells me there is nothing wrong. However, the 3 questions I posed earlier were not just for the nameless, but for you too, General Jingyuan. First, the disciples of Sanctus Medicus grew uninterrupted on the 𝗲𝗏, yet the 6 charioteers were not aware of it. That was a dereliction of duty. Second, you believed in the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy and entrusted outsiders to solve the crisis, even granting them access to the Plague Mark. That was a dereliction of responsibility. Third, you insist on holding the war dance right after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, putting the 𝗲𝗏 back in the spotlight. That is a dereliction of wisdom.
Merlin's Claw. Is this your line of thinking, or the 10 Lords?
From the moment I walked in, I made it clear that the questions I'd ask might not reflect my actual thoughts.
The disciples of Sanctus Medicus were deeply rooted and had been plotting for a long time. I admit it was my negligence for not noticing it earlier. As for the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy, I didn't believe all of it. But in the end, the 𝗲𝗏 did survive the Ambrosial Arbor crisis. So, I think it's safe to say that Elio's prophecy about the future holds some merit. And as for the war dance, do you think I'm unaware of the risks? However, risks can also be opportunities. The 𝗲𝗏 has lain low for too long. I believe it's time to stir up the dregs hidden in the depths and wash them away once and for all.
Just as I expected from our sophisticated divine foresight. You have a way with words. I like it. But, unfortunately, ever since the report was submitted, the Alliance has been filled with rumors and speculation. Even within the 𝗲𝗏, there are people accusing you of neglecting your duties, resulting in the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection.
So what are your thoughts on all of this, General Feixiao?
As a fellow Arbiter General, I fully understand the difficulties of this position. Personally, I think all these rumors are meaningless drivel. Across the sea of stars, the divine foresight knows better than anyone else what happened on the 𝗲𝗏 and the meaning behind it. Just as what happened on the 𝗬𝗎𝗃𝗀𝗃 recently.
Yunli, the 𝗬𝗎𝗃𝗀𝗃 is also...
The scouts of the Verdant Knights have sent back reports that Borisin are making trouble again. The Borisin packs that were once divided and scattered have started swallowing each other up, forming larger and larger packs. Moreover, there's an entity named Mongus behind it all.
An entity?
According to the report, this entity isn't actually a Borisin. It's a woman claiming to be the messenger of the Master of Immortality. She's described as having 12 faces and 12 pairs of fangs, as cruel as poison, and as elusive as quicksand. The 𝗲𝗏 believe she'll give them a chance to rise again.
That's 𝗱𝗲𝗃𝗀𝘃.
That's right. You're lucky that I'm the one who came this time. If it were the Patina Justice or the Seer Strategist, this conversation might not be so friendly. I've always had faith in my instincts, so I don't doubt your good intentions. But the Alliance has its fair share of questions and doubts about the 𝗲𝗏. So, my plan is to come up with an acceptable answer to satisfy the Alliance.
What's in this plan, General Feixiao?
General Jing Yuan, you already know what has to be done. But since you don't want to be the bad guy, I'll take care of it for you. You need the final word from the Ten Lords Commission to quell any doubts. And for that, I'll have to ask the two Nameless to visit the Shackling prison. No, I'm not imprisoning you. While you're there, I'll ask a judge in the Ten Lords Commission's Interrogation Division to record a detailed testimony with the karmic mirror from both of you. We'll fill in the gaps that weren't covered in the report, and silence any protests within the Alliance.
I'm okay with that.
Your willingness to help is truly heartwarming, youngsters.
Then, as the Merlin's Claw requests.
Oh, there's one more thing. This testimony is for silencing the voices of opposition within the Alliance. But I would like to urge General Jing Yuan to listen to the pleas of the Foxians on the Xianzhou Yaoqing.
So, you are here for Huaiyan.
Exactly. Huaiyan is locked up in the 𝗲𝗏's Shackling prison. Since he is the broodlord of the 𝗲𝗏, I want to transfer him onto the Xianzhou Yaoqing and imprison him there. The recent movements of the 𝗲𝗏 suggest they're planning something big, so we must act preemptively.
It makes sense to have the Foxians keep an eye on their arch-nemesis. Since you trust my judgment, I'll repay that trust. What do you think about all this, General Huaiyan?
I was worried this would turn into a heated argument, but it seems like both of you are on the same page, solving each other's problems. I couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
And as for Huaiyan, I'll send my Lieutenant Zhao Chou and Moza to check on his condition in prison and ready him for transport. If there are no more questions, shall we get this started? Do you actually believe in the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy?
The Xianzhou's matrix of prescience can also predict the future. Do you believe in its prophecies?
I understand. While words can be deceiving, your gaze, your breathing, and your scent, they reveal more than your words do. I trust my intuition more than any words.
I'm really sorry about all this. But the testimony in the Shackling prison won't take up much of your time. I'll call for a messenger to take you to the Interrogation Division. You just need to give your testimony, and then you can head back. So no need to worry.
As you wish, General.
As General Jing Yuan requested, everything is prepared for your arrival, and I am here to receive you. The judges at the Interrogation Division also know your purpose in coming.
The Shackling prison. I didn't expect to be back here after all these years.
DanHeng.
Don't worry about me.
If you're ready, I'll open the gate for you. This is one of many entrances used for temporary access. Since you're not actual prisoners, it makes sense for you to use this entrance. Please come on in, dear guests.
What are you looking at?
The Shackling prison on the 𝗨𝗶 is completely different from the one on the 𝗷𝗃. It's completely underwater.
Whether it's in the clouds or underwater, breaking free would still be a piece of cake for me.
Still thinking about your old jailbreak tricks, huh? Forget it. You're free now. Just don't do anything stupid, or the judges will throw you back in there and lock you up for a few hundred years.
You'll see me again in just a few days.
Taking Huaiyan back to the 𝗷𝗃 means a lot to the Foxians on the ship, and to the General herself. So stay alert.
Guests, my name is 𝗀𝗏, and I'm here on orders from the Incarceration Division of the Ten Lords Commission.
We're Jiao and Moza. General Feixiao sent us to extradite the Borisin criminal Huaiyan to the 𝗷𝗃. We're here to inspect the conditions of his imprisonment and make preparations for the handover and transportation. I assume you've been briefed, Your Honor.
Your visit request has been approved. I'll be your guide for this trip. Prisoner Huaiyan, the warhead and brood lord of the Borisin abominations of abundance and the arch-nemesis of the Foxians, is responsible for 2,123 wars of aggression and countless associated crimes. Due to his heinous acts, he has been imprisoned in the depths of the Shackling prison and subjected to the punishment of the Forest of Swords until the end of time. He shall never be pardoned.
No need to repeat his crimes and sentence, Your Honor. He is the greatest enemy of us Foxians. The stories of his atrocities are used to terrify our children. I'm well aware of every crime he's committed. Let's move on to the next step.
When it comes to visiting criminals, there are rules in place to ensure your safety. I know you've heard legends about Huaiyan since you were children, but your knowledge about him is likely very limited. Only the judges of the Ten Lords Commission truly know what kind of abomination is locked up at the bottom of the Shackling prison. It has been centuries since Yunli, the former sword champion of the 𝗨𝗶, captured Huaiyan. And during all those years, we never provided him with any food. Yet he somehow managed to stay alive. It defies all the documented physical characteristics of the Borisin. The Forest of Swords, forged by the Punishment Division, is a device of intense torment, used to execute sinful abominations. Most Borisin die within 3 days in the forest, but Huaiyan is different. Every time the blades pierce him, his body instantly heals. Despite the brutal punishment, he somehow manages to survive. The complex rules are there because of his abnormal characteristics. Do you understand now?
I apologize for any offense caused. Please continue, Your Honor.
I've given you the instructions regarding Huaiyan's visitation. Please make sure you read them carefully. And please, take this pellet before proceeding.
No, I'm not taking random medicine.
Then you won't be allowed to visit Huaiyan.
Just swallow it already. Huaiyan is like 𝗷𝗶𝘴𝘁𝗃. He can release a pheromone called 𝗃𝗏𝗃toxin that induces fear. Thousands of years ago, we Foxians were enslaved by the 𝗶𝗏𝘴𝘁. Not because we were naturally weaker, but because of their 𝗃𝗏𝗃toxin. This pill is for our own mental well-being.
I understand.
I knew you were a reasonable person. Now that we've taken the medicine, let's proceed. Your Honor.
What is it?
No, never mind. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Let's keep moving.
Here we are. Her Honor hasn't arrived yet. Please wait a moment.
This place... it's still as cold as it used to be. Sorry, I was just reminiscing about some unpleasant memories. Thank you. It's all my fault that you were involved in the Xianzhou's problems. You shouldn't have to see the inside of the Shackling prison. I'm so sorry. I wish I could show you the real sights of the 𝗨 The 6 charioteers might have more power over the rest of this Xianzhou ship. But here, in the Shackling prison, is the judges of the 10 Lords Commission who call the shots. The judges will use a complicated interrogation device called the Karmic Mirror. It accurately tracks every physiological change during questioning and records it. Therefore, the judgment made here will be sufficient to convince the other administrators of the Xianzhou. At least they won't attempt to challenge the conclusions. Perhaps that's why Feixiao insisted that we come here. Okay. But watch your step. This place is not like the others.
Welcome, dear guests from the Express. Judge Hanya of the Interrogation Division. We've met before. Glad to meet you again. Please allow me to express my gratitude to you again for subduing the demons in the Fixtral Garden.
Looks like while March 7th and I were clueless, you already made many friends on the Xianzhou 𝗨𝗨.
Even though you and I have met before, we can't show any favoritism under the 10 Lords. So, please do as I command as we head to Scrivener Hall and beyond. Don't do anything without my permission. This is not a place for ordinary mortals. You and Mr. DanHeng, please come with me.
Please lead the way, Your Honor.
Please let me activate the mechanism before we all move forward. And please, watch your steps.
It's freezing.
This place is filled with the cold air from the northern peak of the polar delve. Even the toughest long-life species would have a hard time enduring this. Did you hear something just now? Let me check it out. Ugh, what an eyesore. This place is packed with boxes and crates.
These crates, they look oddly familiar.
A few days ago, the Spiritfarers received reports about an 𝗖𝗃𝐶 transport ship that was attacked by 𝗲𝗴𝗏. Then, a bunch of those abominations were dumped into this place. I had a feeling there would be trouble during the war dance, but throwing both the pirates and the cargo in jail? That's a new one. I heard the Intelligentsia Guild crafted something dangerous. We have many records in the Hall of Karma about these wise ones. They love to tinker with forbidden technologies, always trying to push the limits of ingenia. I caught a glimpse of the mechs in those crates, and they bear a striking resemblance to 𝗲𝗏𝗏. I wonder what they're planning this time. Well, business first. Let's keep moving. Strange. I don't remember checking the containment facilities a second time.
Watch out!
Emergency! All wardens prepare for action! Emergency! All wardens prepare for action!
These things moving on their own.
With changelessness.
Something is wrong. The guards aren't responding. This thing is going wild. Just like a 𝗲𝗏𝗏.
Looks like we're on our own.
Darkness, charge!
But how is this even possible? The Spiritfarers follow the protocols, cutting off power to the mechs and sealing the crates. How could these mechs still start moving?
It's just like what happened in the Artisanship Commission before. These goods went haywire and attacked everyone in sight. The Alchemy Commission members examined them and found some unusual structures within. These things showing up in the Shackling prison can only mean one thing.
A prison break.
And whoever delivered these goods clearly wanted them to go through the Xianzhou's strict inspection process to show the Skyfaring Commission and Cloud Knights how dangerous they were. They wanted these mechs to end up right here in the Shackling prison.
If these things already started taking action while nobody was paying attention, then the whole prison is in trouble, I'm afraid. And to make things worse, another group of visitors just entered the depths of the Shackling prison, the messengers from the Xianzhou Yaoqing. And the prisoner they came to visit might be the target whom these wolf-shaped mechs were delivered here for. If that vicious beast manages to break free, it will be a catastrophe for the Xianzhou Luofu.
Guard the gates! They can't be allowed in!
been a long time. Boy, welcome back.
Madam Hanya, the Wardens in all areas are regrouping. Those Ingenium enemies are wandering around and causing heavy casualties. And to make things worse, those iron wolves broke open the cages and let the criminals out! We've called for backup, but it seems like all communication is jammed.
Let's preserve our strength and first take down the isolated prisoners. By decree of the 10 Lords, all prison breakers and intruders shall be apprehended, dead or alive.
Just a short time ago, the nether key mechanism was activated. It was probably Madame Hui and the Yaoqing messengers, heading to the bottom of the prison. Given the situation, I'm afraid that area is exactly where our enemies are targeting.
We mustn't let that vile beast escape from its cage.
We've gathered all the prison guards who can still fight, and we'll split up and secure each floor.
Go!
Those intruders are quite bold. They must have been planning this for quite a while.
Indeed, but Borisin tend to favor direct and aggressive approaches. Crafting careful and precise plans like this is simply not their style. Let's focus on the current situation right now. Please help me.
What's the fastest way to the bottom of this prison, Miss Hanya? If we don't get there quickly, we'll soon be outnumbered by all the enemies inside.
We'll have to bend the rules. Please, follow me.
Looks like there was a fierce battle here not long ago.
The gate to the prison delve is wide open. Huaiyan has managed to break free. Where are the Yaoqing messengers? And where's my sister? Are they still alive?
Let's look around. Maybe we'll find some clues.
𝗂𝗄 is here.
Miss 𝗂𝗄 briefly sacrificed herself. My condolences, Miss Hanya.
Condolences? Well, that's unnecessary. You misunderstand. Thanks to the 10 Lords' blessing, my sister turned into an Ingenium centuries ago. Dying and returning as just a soul to the Hall of Karma's document office has become a routine for her. While I'm not keen on seeing her throw away her body like it's some replaceable part, but... By the way, have you seen bodies that might be the Yaoqing messengers? One of them is a Foxian wearing exquisite clothes, and the other wears a dark cloak, like a fugitive.
No. I haven't found any Foxian bodies. Only Borisin ones.
So, the intruders in Huaiyan are holding the Yaoqing messengers hostage. This is the worst situation. With hostages in their grasp, the prison guards can't do anything about the prisoners. If anything happens to the messengers, the relationship between the Yaoqing and the Luofu could be irreversibly damaged. We must rescue the messengers, get out of here, and spread the news. We mustn't give up as long as there's a glimmer of hope.
What have you found, Miss Hanya?
Reconstruct. It's my sister. Looks like her soul hasn't returned to the Hall of Karma yet. At such a critical moment, her death can give us information that we can turn into an advantage. Let me see. The damage isn't too bad. If I can fix it up, my sister will have a temporary body. Hanya, I'm back. Welcome back, sister. I don't know what kind of expression I should have at a time like this. Happy? Tears of joy? Forget it. I'm used to you coming back in all sorts of forms.
Now is not the time for jokes. This Psycrane can't hold all of me.
Sister, what did you see when you were killed?
One of the 𝗀𝗃 messengers escaped, and the other one was taken hostage and brought upwards?
Besides the Borison, there were other intruders. Invisible.
Invisible intruders? What does that even mean? How many conspiracies are tangled up in this mess? Do me a favor, sister. The intruders have cut off all communication between inside and outside the prison. And now you're the only person, the only bird, who can slip out undetected. Make sure you deliver the news to the outside world.
I understand. Please be careful, sister. You are different from me.
Time is running out, Miss Hanya. If we keep delaying, those Borison will escape from the prison.
All right. If we happen to come across that 𝗀𝗃 messenger who got away... No. Stopping Huaiyan should probably be our top priority.
Wait! Something feels off. Someone's approaching us.
The invisible intruders?
The prison management on the Lawfu is truly concerning. Aren't you looking for me? Prison management on the Lawfu is truly concerning. So what if I repeat it? It's the truth, after all. Prison management on the Lawfu is truly concerning. At least 2 different groups of intruders infiltrated here. The wolf cubs and these Mara-struck soldiers. Their hiding technique. It's pretty similar to the wind mantle technique used by the Vidyadhara serving 𝗀𝗄𝗃 on the 𝗀𝗃. What do you think? Well, never mind if you don't have any clues. Now is not the time to exchange assassination techniques. I'm 𝗀𝗄𝗃. My friend fell into the clutches of that wolf. I was planning to escape and report back as quickly as possible. But now it seems... The prison on the Lawfu is a real maze, I must admit.
Thank you for your help, Mr. 𝗀𝗄𝗃. We'll do our best to ensure your friend's safety.
No, you can do nothing for him now. And you shouldn't be focusing on his safety at the moment.
Your friend is in Huai's clutches and you're just going to leave him behind?
Look, I'm the 𝗀𝗃 General's guard, not his. I've seen how that giant wolf fights, and there's no way. trying to save my friend will only get us killed. I don't know how you think, but I won't throw my life away for a lost cause. Listen up. I've been tracking these fugitives, and I know their next move. They're planning to seal off the entire prison to keep the outside world in the dark. The worst case scenario, we are all killed by that giant wolf, and the Shackling prison is sealed off. No one will know about us or about their escape until it's too late. And the best case scenario... Best case scenario would be, we seal the gates and trap the enemy inside with us. We can't let that monstrous wolf escape. Hopefully, someone will eventually notice that something is off and come to help. As for whether we'll still be alive by then, it's not something we should think about.
You sure have a way of comforting people, Mr. 𝗲𝗲𝗀.
As a person of the 𝗷𝗃𝗃, I've always searched for something meaningful to give my life to.
I have to make it out alive. My companions are waiting for me.
As a netherworld dweller, I've already died once.
Yeah. We won't give up. Not until the very last moment.
None of you are part of the Ten Lords' commission, so sacrificing yourselves isn't the right move. As a judge, it's my responsibility to guard this prison, and if someone should step up to stop Huaiyan from escaping, it should be me, not you. Once we reach the gate, I hope you'll help me seal it. After that, I'll do everything I can to fight the 𝗲𝗏, and you find a safe place to hide and wait for reinforcements. Now, let's proceed upward.
There you are. I heard you and Mr. DanHeng went to meet the judges, and then a riot broke out in the Shackling prison. I was so worried about you. Thank goodness you both made it out safe.
There was a revolt in the Shackling prison. Fortunately, we were protected by the guards until the Cloud Knights arrived to rescue us.
I was planning to take Miss March and Yunli to 𝗀𝗲𝗃𝗀𝘂𝗀 to see the Skysplitter up close, but we stumbled upon a group of suspicious Foxians carrying official identities. They were acting strange, so out of curiosity, we decided to follow them. It turns out they were actually 𝗲𝗏𝗏 disguised as Foxians. It seems they infiltrated 𝗀𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗏𝗀 in order to prepare for Huai's escape, and we foiled their plans by pure chance. I wonder who provided them with those disguises, and how many more 𝗲𝗏𝗏 have taken advantage of the war dance to infiltrate the ship.
These Mara-struck soldiers don't appear to be escaped prisoners.
How can you tell?
These soldiers are fully armed. Obviously, they didn't hastily join the battle.
The messenger named 𝗲𝗲𝗏 did say that there were two groups of attackers. And the other attackers, aside from the 𝗲𝗏𝗏, could hide their tracks. I believe he was referring to these people.
Hide their tracks.
Exactly. I've engaged with these attackers before, and they used Cloud Hymn magic to hide their presence. Without careful observation, no one can detect them.
You once warned me to be cautious of the 𝗵𝗲𝗴 Elder's influence within the Alchemy Commission. Could it be?
What's on your mind, Miss Lingshaw?
Well, it seems that someone provided the attackers with a map of the Shackling prison. And considering the 𝗵𝗲𝗴's involvement in the prison's construction, it raises suspicion about their role in this. Additionally, the fact that the Borison need medicine to disguise themselves would suggest that there are still moles within the Alchemy Commission assisting them covertly. Moreover, forging official identities for the undercover Borison would require someone with significant authority. And the presence of assassins capable of using Cloud Hymn magic deepens my suspicion about the preceptors. But why would the 𝗵𝗲𝗴 collude with the Borison and aid in Hulay's escape?
They aim to spread chaos. They believe that only in chaos can they regain their former power and influence. Since this edition of 𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗁, the once proud dragon race has been powerless, watching their influence wane. Being a native of the 𝗨𝗶, Miss Lingshaw, I believe you understand the implications.
However, I don't think the preceptors are the true mastermind. If I'm not mistaken, the one behind all this treachery is the Lord Ravager who exploited the weaknesses within the 𝗨𝗶 and instigated the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, ultimately leading to the ambrosial arbor's resurrection. Fentilia.
Please remember, General, that everything I've mentioned is mere speculation. We need concrete evidence for a public trial. If you want to interrogate someone within the 𝗵𝗲𝗴's ranks, you'll need irrefutable proof.
So, what's your plan, Miss Lingshaw?
I'll send an invitation to the preceptors.
An invitation?
The preceptors have been inviting me for a personal meeting since my arrival on the 𝗨𝗶. Now, I'll send them the remains of these Mara-struck soldiers and the route map I found in the prisoner's possession. Then, I'll ask them to meet me at 𝗪𝗏𝗄𝗏 Waterscape. I'd like to hear their explanations.
Good idea. If I were to take action, it might alert the true mastermind. I trust you to handle this matter, Miss Lingshaw. The internal affairs of the 𝗵𝗲𝗴 should remain under their jurisdiction. And don't worry if things don't go smoothly. Once the wolf hunt operation is over, the hidden truths will come to light.
Speaking of the wolf hunt operation, I'm truly worried about the 𝗷𝗆 messenger who was taken hostage. Hulayh was starving in the Shackling prison for centuries. I don't know if the messenger can survive in that wolf's clutches. May Rainbow's blessing keep him safe.
Jiao, I found you.
Speaking of stories, you've reminded me that now is not the time for them. 𝗲𝗄, we've sent the warning from Stargazer 𝗲𝗏𝗂. What's the situation on your end?
I've found them. Jiao is trying to stall Hulayh, and he signaled me to not reveal myself.
Trust his judgment and keep watching. We'll be right there.
I believe the warning we sent will stop Hulayh from attacking Stargazer 𝗲𝗏𝗂. What will he do next?
The hunt is not over yet. Stay safe, Jiao.
Mock talk. We're the apex predators at the top of the hierarchy. As wolves, we create fear. We don't become servants to it. If you're blind to the path, I will be the crimson moon that lights the way for you. Share my crimson blood with our brethren. Use it to infect those Foxians and strike fear into their hearts. Now, you devious monkey, come out and face me.
Qiao.
Milza. Run.
General, report! The teams are in position, and the Skyfaring Commission has taken control of the Starskiff lanes.
Activate all side cranes and have them scan everyone coming in and out of the port. Remain vigilant at all times. Any suspicious movements must be suppressed as quickly as possible before the situation gets out of hand.
Yes, General.
You two, follow me.
All of you, get out of my way.
Wait. Don't go any closer.
General, I failed you. That mad dog left me here as...
A declaration of war.
That's right. I've been holding back the urge to slit his throat all this time. Well, Lord Huaiyan ordered us to remain here, just to see. If you, the great Merlin's Claw, mortal enemy of the Borisin, are able to join him in a little hunting game.
Hunting is not a game. It is a battle of life and death. Are you ready for your death, abomination? Qiao, are you okay?
I wasn't able to save Qiao. Huaiyan was more cunning and powerful than I imagined.
Tell me, how is he planning to declare this war against me? With a one-on-one duel? Or with a hostage exchange, maybe?
Huaiyan is planning on attacking the bustling streets of the 𝗀𝗄𝗏.
What did you just say?
Impossible. Even if there are still undercover Borisin that we haven't sniffed out, Huaiyan can't have more than a few dozen people. How is he planning on simultaneously attacking the streets of the 𝗀𝗄𝗏?
He has an ace up his sleeve. Huaiyan's body holds a plague mark passed down through generations of Borisin. I've seen him convert a Foxy into a Borisin wolf trooper with my own eyes. This is Huaiyan's declaration of war. His blood. It can cause Foxians to rapidly transform and lose their minds. He has passed his blood to his minions, and is planning to spread it across the 𝗏 and stir up panic.
He wants to encircle us in one fell swoop. This beast is truly unpredictable.
Contact the Skyfaring Commission and the Cloud Knights right away. Have them enforce a traffic ban and order all Foxians to remain indoors until further notice.
The moment you see your enemy's declaration of war, it means that they have already begun to take action.
But if Huaiyan succeeds in getting this panic to spread...
Do you remember what I told you before? Hunting is about thinking the same way as your prey, not just mindlessly chasing after them. What Huaiyan wants is to see everyone on the 𝗏 descend into panic. He wants to see us lose our minds and waste our limited manpower scouring every inch of the 𝗏 for signs of an attack until we exhaust ourselves. It's like that party game that the people of the Yaoqing love to play. They hide an object under one of several bowls, then move the bowls around and have you guess which one the object is underneath. The way I see it, this is all nothing more than misdirection. No matter what Huaiyan does, There is one truth that cannot be changed. He is trapped aboard the 𝗀𝗄𝗪. The only way for him to escape is to find a ship.
Right now, the only ship he'd be able to see is the Skysplitter.
In his eyes, that ship is full of countless hostages. That would be the best place for him to go. So, that will also be our final battlefield.
But if we're wrong about this, if he goes somewhere else, or if he does as he said he would, and his minions infect the Foxians everywhere with wolf blood, what do we do then? Are we just supposed to abandon those less likely locations?
This is another lesson that you must learn outside of swordplay. Weighing your options and making a decision. There are always questions that we will ask ourselves, but never be able to answer. Before making a decision, we must destroy any hesitation that we are holding on to. Once we make a decision, we must fight off any regrets. There is a chance that we will make the wrong decision and allow our allies to be sacrificed in vain. There is a chance that we will predict our enemies' movements correctly, yet underestimate their strength and be overwhelmed in battle. But being lost in hesitation and failing to take any action will always be more harmful than taking the wrong path. We must make a decision, no matter what. Everyone, listen up. I will personally take charge of Starskiff Haven, evacuate the people, and prepare for any possible attacks. I will do my best to ensure that things are safe on the ground. Nameless, please lend us your strength as you did when the Ambrosial Arbor was reborn. I need you and 𝗀𝗲𝗃 to go in search of Jiao.
General, please entrust me with the safety of the Skysplitter. I was originally meant to participate in the tournament, so now it is only right that I return to the Skysplitter.
If Huaiyan does come to attack the Skysplitter, Lieutenant Yanqing, I need you to hold him there until I am able to arrive.
Please rest assured, General. If he dares step foot on the Skysplitter, I, Yanqing, swear on the blade in my hands that he shall not escape.
Cloud Knights! The Borsin have arrogantly decided to challenge us on 𝗀𝗄𝗪 territory. They vow that they will unleash a bloodbath along the streets of the 𝗀𝗄𝗪. The unarmed civilians of the 𝗀𝗄𝗪 and countless visitors from afar are under our protection. Let me ask you, as Cloud Knights, will we allow the Borsin to succeed with their plan? Be on your guard. Calling Starskiff Haven. Have all Cloud Knights be on full alert for Borsin attacks.
Feixiao, the ports of Starskiff Haven are crawling with wolf-like creatures. They're moving fast.
Hold them back! I will be there immediately! Madam Yukong, lend me your bow!
What's that?
Everyone, out of the way!
Oh, what a mess. I just knew it would end up this way. Every time she hits the battlefield, she makes a mess like this. She didn't even leave a single survivor to get intel from. One of these men must have known about Huaiyan and Jiao whereabouts. He has to be. A retainer like myself is nothing more than an insignificant shadow who stands by the General's side. But 𝗀𝗂 is different. Without his careful treatment, the General wouldn't even be here today. Hopefully, he can use that silver tongue of his to buy himself enough time. Take a good look around. If you can find one or two 𝗲𝗴 that aren't dead yet, let me know. I don't care how tight their lips are sealed. I always have a way to crack them open and get the information we need.
What a terrifying attack. Who could have imagined that such astonishing strength would lie in the hands of a Phyxian war slave? So decisive, so brutal. She is more like a descendant of Duran than we who have fallen to our current state. No wonder the warhead has his eyes on her.
I remember you, 𝗲𝗃. You are harder to kill than a cockroach. But the fact that you have willingly shown yourself saves us some time. It is not too late for you to surrender. Tell me, where are Hull and 𝗀𝗂?
Save your energy, Yaoqing monkey. If there is one principle that we beasts know well, it is that we might have to break off an arm to break free from a cage. Today, I will be that arm. I lived as a hunter for many years, yet I have only followed the warhead for this recent brief period. However, his existence has brought light back to our once blind eyes, like the moon of Verdantia. He has shown me the way. The descendants of Duran have abandoned the Wolf's Creed. In order to ensure our survival, we took solace in the shadows and fed on one another. We were no longer wolves. We were no more than rats, living a dirty and pathetic life. Thanks to the gift granted to us by Lord Hull, I have shared his vision and his blood. The descendants of Duran should live for the victory of the pack, and they should die for it as well. Come, Yaoqing man. Show me your fangs. We will fight to the death!
Puh! How honorable, you mangy dog. But you seem to have misunderstood. There will be no fair one-on-one duel. Let's see how tough you are once we've put you down. No matter how heroic your sacrifice, there is no honor in your battles or deaths, 𝗲𝗴.
It seems that 𝗲𝗃 got what he wished for.
Hull, your declaration of war is over. From now on, no matter where you run, General Feixiao will catch you and send you to the same fate as 𝗲𝗃.
Your tongue is sharper than your claws. Don't stand in my way, child. Have your general speak with me a little over yet.
Stand down, Walter. I am here, Huaiyan. What do you wish to say?
The Merlin's Claw. Though we have never met on the battlefield, I have heard many interesting things about you from both my men and your healer. The people of the 𝗀𝗄 must be quite brave to allow a 𝗲𝗲 war slave with Borissan blood to ascend to the position of general. Has no one ever questioned that lineage of yours? Or could it be that your grand achievements were enough to convince everyone to keep their lips sealed?
Claiming to have family ties with the enemy sounds to me like an attempt at asking for mercy. Huaiyan, are you begging me for mercy?
I see that it is not only the ruthless blood of a wolf that courses through your veins, but also the cunning blood of a fox. When you think about it, this was a gift from the Borissan. Anything that we gift, we are also free to reclaim. The Merlin's Claw. I shall extend a final invitation to you. I will be waiting for you on the Skysplitter. Before you arrive, I will slaughter all in sight, allowing the crimson moon that has fallen dim for over 700 years to once more come to life. I will illuminate this ship with the sheen of blood and show everyone just how weak and powerless the 𝗀𝗄 is. Then, I will pilot this ship through every blockade and barrier you have prepared and begin my journey home. This ship shall be the flagship for the Borissan resurgence. Before I finish these tasks of mine, you have a chance to stop me or die at my hands. This is the path that I have prepared for you.
I accept your challenge, Huaiyan. Because the very moment you stepped aboard the Skysplitter, you stepped onto your path to ruin.
Impossible! How could a mere whelp defeat me?
Welcome, Miss Lingsha. I am Preceptor 𝗬𝗏.
Greetings, my honored preceptor. It's been a while since we last touched base. I've brought a friend with me today. I believe you're already familiar with each other.
𝗬𝗏? What? Elder 𝗬𝗏? I remember when I was exiled, you were on the verge of passing on. What's with this new look?
All of this is thanks to your past life. Had you not been so rash, I wouldn't have had to walk such a dangerous road to free our clan, becoming this specter of my former self. DanHeng, you've returned twice, but it seems that meeting us fossils wasn't on your agenda. Regrettable indeed. Now here you are to meet me anyway. Life does love its ironies, doesn't it?
I didn't come here with Miss 𝗲𝗄 today to reminisce.
Indeed. When the Cauldron Master extends an invitation, it's only proper for the preceptors to attend.
As the newly appointed Cauldron Master, there's been much to take care of within the Alchemy Commission. It's only now that I've had the chance to speak with you. Please forgive the delay, Elder. I sent over some evidence regarding the prison break in the Shackling prison. I trust you've already looked it over.
Yes. You sent us the remains of Mara-struck soldiers, a map of the Shackling prison, and a semblance reversion essence pill.
These are the remains of assassins who used 𝗀𝗏𝗄 magic to conceal their tracks. They aided in the Borison's escape, allowing them unimpeded passage through the Shackling prison. That marked-up map is a map of prisoners' escape routes. 𝗵𝗲𝗴 craftsmen once made blueprints for the prison's construction, so I imagine, Mr. Tauran, you have a similar map in your possession. This pill.
Is semblance reversion essence. Indeed. I helped plot the prison break in the Shackling prison.
So, the disciples of Sanctus Medicus joining forces with the Lord Ravager to stir up trouble in the Alchemy Commission, the introduction of the Stellaron, and the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection all have something to do with the 𝗵𝗲𝗴.
That's right. You were sent here by the General to hear my confession, weren't you? If there's even a shred of empathy in you, you should understand the reasons behind everything I've done. Ever since the sedition of 𝗵𝗵𝗴𝘁𝗀, the population of the 𝗵𝗲𝗴 has dwindled. With the High Elder exiled, a few of us preceptors had to do what we could to turn the tide. My methods might have been drastic, perhaps even incomprehensible. But it was all for one cause. The survival of the 𝗵𝗲𝗴. Yet, the Xianzhou natives zealously forbid any plague marks, and did nothing while the 𝗵𝗲𝗴 suffered. DanHeng, 𝗲𝗲, as 𝗵𝗲𝗴, you should understand the desperation behind my actions. All I've tried to do is to ensure our survival.
I'm well aware of the challenges the 𝗵𝗲𝗴 face. Fighting for survival isn't a sin. But Elder, your actions have gone beyond mere survival. You've become a beast driven solely by the propagation, devoid of even a hint of empathy.
Oh. Despite calling ourselves a noble draconic bloodline, at our core, we're merely bipedal beasts. The survival of our kind is paramount. If I hadn't resorted to beastly actions, the 𝗵𝗲𝗴 might not even exist. The sages show no mercy, as the old wisdom goes. When the High Elder abandoned our people's survival, I had to shoulder the world's sins alone. 𝗲𝗏𝗄, DanHeng, the past is behind us, but the future of the 𝗵𝗲𝗴 still lies within your grasp. The situation on the Xianzhou Luofu has changed rapidly. As 𝗵𝗲𝗴, we must unite in purpose and avoid the mistakes of the previous 𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗁𝗁.
I was initially skeptical about the 𝗵𝗲𝗴's betrayal of the Alliance. But after hearing your confession, I realized that there is no point in talking about trust. Breaking the covenant of our alliance will bring war upon the 𝗵𝗲𝗴. Even if we are able to have offspring again, what difference will it make?
Once my plan succeeds, the Alliance will see the 𝗵𝗲𝗴 as their saviors, because both parties ultimately share the same interests.
So now that survival won't convince us, you want to talk about interests?
For 1,000 years, the Alliance has been engaged in brutal warfare against the denizens of abundance, yet victory has remained beyond reach. Have you ever wondered why? Should the Alliance emerge victorious, they will inevitably become the next denizens of abundance. However, if they suffer defeat, the Alliance will face extinction. Thus, the Alliance has deceitfully upheld this precarious balance. However, I have a way to escape from this dilemma. The Alliance's path to salvation lies within the secret of dragon transmutation. Imagine if there were a way to transform other life forms into 𝗵𝗲𝘃𝗃. The Alliance would then possess an endless stream of soldiers and would not need to worry about casualties. Once the war ended, these soldiers would cease reproduction, eliminating concerns of overpopulation. This is the way to salvation for the 𝗀𝗄 Alliance. The ultimate path to end the universe's suffering under the immortality plague. Only we, the 𝗵𝗲𝘃𝗃, can achieve this.
So, you relied on this rhetoric to manipulate the ignorant members of the 𝗵𝗲𝘃𝗃 into serving you. I am deeply disappointed in you, Elder. Your thoughts and intentions are completely devoid of empathy. Cloud Knights!
Hold it.
Miss Bailu!
Mr. Danheng and Sister Lingsha! Everyone's here?
You think I don't know why you're really here? Jing Yuan sent you here to test me, didn't he? According to the oath between the Alliance and the 𝗵𝗲𝘃𝗃, it's forbidden to spill 𝗵𝗲𝘃 blood on their own territory. Are you all ready to violate this oath in the presence of the 𝗲𝗲𝗄's High Elder?
Dragon Lady, there's no need to panic. Elder, the 𝗵𝗲𝘃𝗃's sacred grounds and the High Elder are not to be used as pawns in exchange for your life.
Talk a big game. As if you have the nation and the people's best interests at heart. But when it really matters, you use a small girl as your shield. It's ridiculously pitiful.
I've said it before. Survival is never a sin. We're all 𝗵𝗲𝘃𝗃, so you should understand my intentions. And as a 𝗵𝗲𝘃, I will leave for you a dignified solution. Leave the 𝗀𝗄𝗃𝗃 immediately, and appeal to the top echelons of the Alliance. Let the 6 charioteers hold a trial, and sentence me to exuviation and rebirth.
I see right through your plans, Mr. Taoran. 𝗵𝗲𝘃𝗃 rebirth erases past crimes, but I'm well aware of the preceptors' dirty tricks during rebirth. You might not be you, but you will still be you. I won't forgive myself for past sins under the pretext of knowing nothing, nor will I allow you to evade accountability.
Danheng, I've always disliked your inability to see the bigger picture. Rebirth hasn't changed you one bit.
Miss Bailu, as High Elder of the 𝗲𝗲𝗄, please share your thoughts at this moment.
I don't want to stay here. I'm tired of being pushed around. I'm not some puppet to be controlled. Please, take me away with you.
I understand. As the oath dictates, members of the Alliance are forbidden from harming 𝗵𝗲𝘃𝗃 here. But I've long since severed ties with the Alliance. Right now, I'm simply a nameless, free to come and go as I please. The oath of the 𝗀𝗄 means nothing to the spear in my hand.
Dragon Lady, are you all right?
I'm fine. Thank you for rescuing me.
You actually came here in person?
Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to hear your lofty opinions. The public trial you seek with the 6 charioteers is inevitable. In addition, I'll write to the 𝗪𝗃𝗀𝗃 of the Feng-Hu. With her hatred for evil, I'm sure she will make a just decision.
If it's her, she will earn the respect and assent of all the Vidyadhara on the Luofu.
In terms of martial prowess, you indeed have the upper hand. But if you're under the impression that this advantage can be used to settle the score with us preceptors, that's quite an overestimation. Given the Vidyadhara's foundation within the Alliance, do you really think you can do anything to us? As I mentioned, I'll take all the blame and become the scapegoat. With the secrets I possess, the interrogation alone will take an eternity. And in the end, through various exchanges of interest, I am certain to survive. You understand this better than anyone, as it's the very art of trade-offs you love to wield. Lastly, a word of caution to you. I heard that Huaiyan has escaped from prison and is headed directly for the Skysplitter. The bloodshed at the Wardance is bound to be gruesome. Perhaps, even before my trial, your impeachment will have you in dire straits first.
Regrettably, Mr. Taoran, the Skysplitter only hosted Cloud Knights today. No audience. And just moments ago, Huaiyan was executed by the Cloud Knights.
Miss March! My dear Miss March! I was only in the bathroom for a little bit, and you've already arranged my death? Hey, can't you play some normal games with Dragon Lady? Are you amused? Alright, enough playing. It's time to visit my masters.
The infirmary is right over there. You can go by yourselves. Oh, come back and visit me when you have time.
Next time, let's not play overly realistic make-believe with this doofus, okay?
Well, there's not much I could do. General Feixiao didn't really give me any chance to shine during this wolf hunt operation. If I had been in the ring, I could have knocked down 10 Huai's with just one strike.
You sound exactly like Master Yanqing. But for now, both he and Yunli have been forced to go to the Alchemy Commission for some well-needed rest. I'm the least accomplished in swordplay, but I came out unscathed. I really ought to thank my masters for taking all the blows on my behalf.
Things must be seen to be believed. The Express is so much more interesting than the seat of divine foresight. The seat of divine foresight may seem imposing at first, but having stared at it, and it back at me, for hundreds of years, we've grown rather tired of one another. It feels as if the heart and mind are wiped clean when looking into the distance from here. How refreshing. I forgot to mention, this is a personal visit to see Don Hung, and everyone else on the Express. If there are any rules that I should follow, do let me know. This is a personal visit. No need for formalities. Call me Jingyuan.